Hello, our team is conformed by Itzel Llamas, Fernando Muñoz, and Gabriel Villagomez that I'm holding the camera.
First, we are going to start explaining before the setup. Before the setup, we have include dht.h, and we use include to include the library for the DHT sensor. After that, we have define the HTT type, DHT11, and we put this because we're giving a value or a name to have the things easier to work. We use trig pin 12 for the ultrasonic sensor, echo pin 13 for the ultrasonic sensor, DHT pin 11 for the DHT sensor, that is the temperature sensor, and IR pin 10
for the line
for the line follower sensor. And we have enable a pin 8, that is for the
driver.
For the driver we have here. And we have the a pin 7 for the motors, the motor A, and this will need the
Dear 1 A pin and the Dear 2
A pin that are 7 and 6.
and it's the same for the enable B.
Only we change the letter A for the letter B, and it ends in the pin 3. We have green pin for the temperature sensor. This means the LED is going to be green, and we have the same one, but instead of green we have it in red.
Then in the setup is to prepare and organize all the things we are going to put in the loop. First, esto es lo primero, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Is the pin mode, and it's for call the value, and if it's input or output.
If yeah.
For example, here is the pin mode of echo pin, and we call is and it's input. Then is the trig pin is output, and that's so. Then the serial point bin, we put 9016, and the DHT point begin, that
it starts to read the library and it starts to begin working the DHT sensor.
The serial point begin is for the serial monitor. That is all the things that the
that are working with the serial monitor that the Arduino can read.
And digital write. Sí. The digital write is the information that comes to the Arduino and read it then.
To explain input and output, we are taking, for example, the DHT sensor. Input means that the information is coming from the Arduino to the sensor, and output means that the sensor is giving information to the Arduino.
¿Me pasé?
Sí.
Ahí. Then we have to
turn on
enable the motors
motor A
and the motor B.
and the motor B2, and here is where we're going to turn it on and give it the instruction. And here too in the motor B is turning on and giving the instruction. And and here is the disable motor B to like this the name says to turn it off and the instruction. And here is the movement that we are going to make
We are going to make the
Robot.
the
car-
motor A to go on, like here in forward. And this is the way we can do it, putting the gear 1/8 pin high and the gear 2/8 pin low.
and this makes that the car run forward, and there is a few codes that we use to make actions in the
Actions.
car.
And here
Hold on.
sorry.
We have technical difficulties.
Okay. And more
More.
more ahí. Stop. And here we are going to give the instruction to motor A to stop, and we can make this by putting the 1/8 pin in high and the 2/8 pin also in high. And here for the motor B, the stop is the same. And here let's see. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
No puedo. Ah, ese ya está bajo.
Well, the reverse, here's the motor B, but let's go to the motor A. That is my favorite. And we are going to make it going reverse. So we put the gear 1/8 pin in low and the gear 2/8 pin in high, and here in the motor B also the same. And the coast coast is like when you putting an example is when you put a car in neutral, that it can go forward or reverse unless you put it in a rampa. ¿Cómo se dice?
Oh,
Bueno,
and
en una
it's still going with the energy it has.
Anyways.
Ajá, lo explicaré en español un poco, ahí disculpe. Por ejemplo, cuando pones a un carro estándar en automático, no puede ir para adelante ni para atrás a menos de que haya una rampa o algo que lo mueva, sin necesidad de nosotros ponérselo o indicárselo.
Okay.
Coming back in English, the coast motor A is when the robot is not going to move, or unless there is
Impulse.
there is an impulse, and we can wait, please.
We can no to sigue.
So for making that, we put the gear 1/8 pin in low and the gear 2/8 pin in low too. And here it's the same. Gear 1B pin low and gear 2B pin low.
Okay. Ahora
And
this is the same of the we have seen in the up that is to turn off the motor
the
to
two
enable
motors.
and turn off
The
go
two
forward,
motors.
stop, and we have to put a integrate value and we call it duration that it has 10 seconds to go forward.
Yes.
Then
And
stop we
put 5 seconds for the two motors to stop completely. And in reverse we put 10 seconds for the two motors. In the coast 5 seconds too. And to turn left we put only 3 seconds that we thought it could be useful to the robot to make a good curve. And in the right also 3 seconds so that it can make a closer curve. And
Then we are going to start explaining the loop. And the loop is the part of the code that
runs repeatedly like
exactly like this. Put your main
It's
code here to
a
run
cycle.
repeatedly. Exactly.
For the line follower sensor, we put the name to the pin that is IR, the IR,
IR.
ear.
and it's a digital read. So the information the
The
line
Arduino
follower
will read
read it and give it to the Arduino.
No, the Arduino will give the information to the sensor because it's the opposite to write. Write gives information to the Arduino.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we have the ultrasonic sensor code. It is. We are going to start by putting the trick pin in low. The trick pin with the ultrasonic sensor is like a piece, like a gun. We use the trigger to give the bullet a direction. We expose the bullet from the gun, and it's the same with the ultrasonic sensor, but instead of bullets we use a very it's like invisible for us, but also we can see it in other parts. In Spanish it is called luz infrarroja. We use it something similar to the ultrasonic sensor. We turn it off first, and then we wait 2 microseconds, and then we start putting low, high, low, high. This will give us like we are blinking.
Mm-hmm.
And we put 10 seconds, microseconds. That is 1 second. So
so that the robot can always be going forward by not
crossing with other things.
objects like
A wall.
like a wall. This make the robot
Don't
to
crash.
always like see and that's it.
El serial monitor lo ponemos. Ah, no es cierto. And in the serial monitor, if you put it, the information you will have for the line follower sensor is always going to be a 1. But if you put something closer, it's going to change to 0. And the light is going to turn off.
And after that, we put the echo pin in high. And we use the instance evaluation, that is like a formula
To change the distance
to the
and make it
in time.
Uh-huh.
After that, we have the temperature sensor code, that is if that is a constant, if IR, that is our
Is
no, I'm sorry.
No,
When it is the line follower sensor. If the line follower sensor is equal
is major
major is
higher than 0, it's going to turn to the left.
or if it is not, no, I'm sorry, or it can stop,
And
or it can go forward.
si no, o sea,
Yes. If distance is lower than 5, we are going to
To
stop
stop.
the car and go left. We're changing the cameraman. After that, we have the temperature sensor.
Oh yes. The flow, porque the flow.
We call it T because temperature, that is equal to DHT dot read temperature, and this means that the DHT sensor is going to start reading the information.
Yes. For the temperature sensor, it don't have too much programmation because the sensor is like kind of independent
And
and only give the information of the temperature to the Arduino and read it. The Arduino read it and
start
um,
doing his job. And we don't put the setup in the. We don't put the temperature sensor in the setup because it is not necessary, because we have the library in there.
Then is the digital right because we need to the LEDs turn off with the temperature sensor. If the red pin is high, it means that the temperature is higher, and if it's green, it's lower.
We make that for 1 second. Or if the temperature is lower, the green LED is going to turn on. And all this programmation is going to have a duration of 100
100 seconds.
microseconds. And
So,
that
1 second.
and that is all of the programmation.
No, falta nada.
No.
No,
And we spent a lot of time in this.
and-
Thank you.
Thank you.